that, that made a lot of sense to me. And so his idea for protocol was to do your scan and run it for 24 hours, and then run another scan and add the first scan to the second scan in a program and run that for 48 hours. And then I guess you leapfrog, do however many scans you want like that. So that's, and he uses a shell that is, I forget what it's called, but it does both killing and healing at the same time. Now, Terry has just seen a video that the guy does his biofeedback and runs it for how many days?
4 to 7 days.
4 to 7 days before he, does he do another one after that, or do you know? Didn't say. So, and he chooses, he said he chooses killing, and then if you get a strong reaction to it, then he adds or changes it to healing, which seems kind of iffy to me.
So may I ask, Galen, which type of generator you have?
We have the Gen X.
The Gen X, okay, which is good, because the XM generator, the biofeedback on that is can be problematic sometimes. You got to lie very, very still for like an hour to get the biofeedback to work.
Yeah.
Going through the training for Spooky2, what they recommend for biofeedback, and you can adjust it. That's the nice thing about the Spooky2 is that you can adjust it to what works for you. But typically that 4 to 7 days of running a killing program after you've run the biofeedback is kind of the standard that they recommend for people doing that, because the biofeedback is set up specifically to target pathogens more than anything else. So if you're running a healing program while you are in with the running a healing program on some of those frequencies, you do tend to, you could potentially end up making the pathogens a little more robust. Now, there's two schools of thought on that, that you could be doing that, or it actually is healing the damage that those pathogens could cause. My general thought is to just run the killing programs, because there are other healing programs that are more robust for healing your symptoms, as opposed to just getting rid of the pathogens that are in your body.
So if you're doing when you do a biofeedback scan, then you just want to do killing, you don't want to do the healing. Is that what you're saying?
That is my understanding. I'm gonna, I'm still going through more and more of the training, and I'm sure I could find more stuff on there. But from my experience and from what I'm learning is that the biofeedback, what it does is it does a very quick spurt of a frequency. It runs through those frequencies really, really fast. And what it's looking for is it's looking for a biosignature that it killed a pathogen, and then it will bounce back and it will tell the Spooky generator basically, okay, this pathogen is something that this body needs because we got a negative response. Basically, we got a frequency response from that one of a dying pathogen, meaning that that pathogen is there and it needs to be killed. So that is primarily what the biofeedback does, is it goes in there and it gets a hold of that pathogen. Now, it can't tell the difference between the good bugs and the bad bugs, quite honestly. It can't tell the difference. So even if it kills like a good bug and it gets that response, it's going to say, hey, you're going to need that frequency. But usually when you have a pathogen that is causing damage in your body, it's going to get the biggest response. So that's why they usually tell you to take the top 10 frequencies and run those in a kill shell for to 7 days.
Okay.
And then depending on your reaction, if you have a really bad Herx reaction, you may have to pause it and then run a Herx program, Herx healing program to help you, or you can run the Herx program concurrently along with the kill program.
Can you do that on the same generator? Or do you have to get the other generator moved up to to do that? If you're going to run 2 programs concurrently.
If you're going to run 2 programs concurrently, they both have to be run on their own separate remote. They can't be run on the same remote. Technically, you could chain them together if you wanted to, but it would just be running the kill program. And then once the kill program has run, because you've chained it together, then it will run the Herx, then the kill, then the Herx, then the kill until you stop that generator. So you could do it that way as well. But if you want to run it concurrently at the same time while you're killing the pathogens and you want to heal the Herx reaction, you would have to do that in 2 separate remotes, 2 separate remotes or contact, or however you plan on doing it.
Yeah. Okay.
So at this point, we can even ask the audience if anybody else has any other experience with this. See whether they have anybody wants to say anything. Oh, it doesn't look
They
like
have
anybody
any experience with the biofeedback? Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't look like anybody. So yeah. So Galen, did you want to say something else as well? Or?
No, that really answers what did you have another question on that, Terry?
No.
He's like, I'm trying to think, but nothing's coming up with new questions. Okay.
Sometimes the brain to mouth pathway is slower.
It happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
So anybody else has any other questions or comments?
When I see,
Yeah, Monique, you wanted to ask something?
No, I just joined.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So the purpose of this meeting is people ask questions and then somebody answers it, right? So that's how we learn from each other. Right?
So I don't know if anybody having any, we'll just go from the beginning. Is anyone having any problems getting their generators, finding their generators on the yes, Lainey.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Hi. Today I was on the Spooky2 Rife for Life, and Susie Smith. She put a file on there called Gen X High Frequency Biofeedback Instructions V7.0 version 1. So I've never done a Gen X high frequency. I've just done the regular Gen X biofeedback. So, and does V7.0 mean anything else than just a different version? What does V.7 mean?
It could, I think that has to.
It's V7.0, sorry.
V7.0.
Yes.
You know, I'm not 100% sure. I was going to check on that because I saw that message as well. And I don't know if that means that it's version 7 or if it's voltage, but I don't think voltage is the right one. So I think it's version of that one. Yeah.
And the other thing is that has there been a new upload of a more recent version of the Spooky this year so far, or the end of last year?
The September one is the one that that everyone is recommending right now. The September 2021 version is the one. They just released one this January. I think it was January 10th, a beta version, but they're finding that it has a bit of a bug in the software finding the generator X in some cases. So I'm going to hold off until they come out with the standard, the official release, because this is just a test release that they're doing. Now there's some people who go out and get them as soon as they come out on I think it's John White's page, that he has a separate page for downloads that does that. So I'm gonna wait just simply because I'm treating some people with some serious conditions right now, and I don't want to run the risk of having to reload software back in again, the old September version, just in case it can't find my my generator X. But that is definitely, that's an option that you can look at, because they will have newer frequencies for things like COVID and some of the other stuff that's come out. That one frequency, which I think is 568 hertz, that they just found is really, really good for COVID. And I believe they have that in there with the new version. But you could also take the 568 hertz and go into the setting thing and set that in its own shell and just run that frequency for a little while as well, and make your own.
So Louise, so how do you upgrade the version? So if I'm running like a year-old version of Spooky2, I downloaded like a year ago, and I want to update it, what is the best way to do that? And I can still keep my own user created.
Yeah, it'll keep your user created things. There's let me see if I can find it on my, I was going to actually do a Zoom tutorial on how to do that, because I don't do it often enough to remember. Each time I have to relearn it, I think. So I used to have, here we go. Let's see, downloads. All right.
So is it very
Let me
complicated?
get to the, not, like I said, I think I in my head, I think it's complicated, and then and then it isn't, for all intents and purposes. Let me share my screen really quick. So this is the page that you will be going to. It's cancerclinic.co.nz downloads HTML. It's not actually if you go to the Spooky2 downloads page, click on the link for downloading the newer software for getting updates, it will take you to this page. And this page, as you can see, you can get all kinds of things, download COVID-19 presets. They have the Spooky2 patch, but this one was from 2018. But it has the Spooky2 software full installer, the main database, which is the latest, which is 9/22/21, DNA database, which is 1/6/22. So you could do a patch with the database. Here you could download the database, you click on this, and then do a save into the program. And it will just replace not replace, but it will add to this. It includes the latest COVID-19 frequencies. This is the one that I was thinking of. So it updates the DNA database for the COVID-19. So it says download and run this installer to update your DNA databases. And I believe there's a video on how to do this, but.
So essentially I go to Spooky2 downloads page, and there is a link for updating this software.
Let me go to, let me see, I have downloads in here, how to update your Spooky2 databases. I clicked on this one time before and they had it like, yeah, they took it down for some reason. It's messed up. It used to have a step-by-step thing on this page of how to update your databases. So I will need to find that again. And what I may do is put that in a document, and let me stop sharing my page. And
yeah, I looked for it, I couldn't find it. How to
yeah,
update your database.
and so maybe what I'll do is I will I'll because I need to be able to find it too. I could probably see if I vaguely remember doing that before, but I can do a document of how to update the software or whatever, step-by-step instructions on how to update your software. And then we could just send it out to everybody. If anybody's interested in that. So yeah.
that'd be good, yeah.
Let's see if I can find the link to that video that tells you how to update it as well. But there used to be, like I said, I had it bookmarked, and I've talked to the forum and a couple of them and said, hey, that page that tells us how to update our software is not there anymore. And so I'll see if I can find that.
Okay. Anybody else has any questions, comments? And I mean, while everybody is thinking about it, I just want to let everybody know, when we record a video in these meetings, we put it in the YouTube channel, and the channel is Church of the Sacred Truth. So that's the channel, Church of the Sacred Truth. So if you find Church of the Sacred Truth, that channel, you'll find all these videos. And there's a bunch of other videos as well, like the Pai Da Lajin, a Chinese technique, you'll find. And several times we invite speakers to tell us about certain other techniques. So all those are recorded and put into this website in this YouTube. Yeah, Galen, go ahead.
Can you spell that, please?
I'm going to put it in the chat here really quick to everyone so that everyone can have it. I'll set that up. That's the link to the YouTube, and the group that we created for our alternative health group is called Church of the Sacred Truths. It's got a website that we continue to keep working on, and hopefully get the calendar updated so it has all of the meetings in there.
Yeah, and you're welcome to attend any of our meetings. So once you can see it in the calendar there. So anybody else has any questions, comments, anything to share?
Does Abby have? I don't know if Abby had any one. So maybe we'll just go through and see if anybody, what you are. Oh, I'm sorry, Lainey, if you were talking. Maybe she's talking to somebody else. Okay. So
Unmute yourself, yes, whoever wants to talk. Yeah, Lainey, we cannot hear you. I think you're trying to talk. You have to unmute yourself.
I think she may be talking to someone else while she's
Okay.
Oh, actually, I think she is trying to talk to us.
Yes,
Oh, there
I
you
am.
are.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to that new thing that Susie Smith put on the site today on Facebook. So I never did a Gen X high frequency. And when I went into the program, I saw that there was a Gen X high frequency, and then there was just a Gen X regular, not the high frequency one. So why would I want to choose this high frequency one versus the one that I was going to use normally? I mean, like, what's the difference?
The difference is,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
I think the original one has a cap on how high of a frequency that it will go to. Now, I can't remember if it's the higher frequencies or the lower frequencies where you get where you have more of a reaction. I thought it was the higher frequencies. So I think the lower frequencies are what they recommend for you to go through and do the scan and then run the kill program and then do the scan again. There's a lot of people who that's all that they do, is that they get it to the point where essentially they have wiped out anything. They'll come back with a scan that doesn't have anything in it. They will get a scan. They've cleaned everything out. It's a complete, they've gone all through the layers and layers and layers of that type of stuff. And they're looking to fine tune and hit other things. And so they'll do the higher frequency ones.
Okay.
As well as they may mess with the harmonics and the wobble and the amplitude and that type of stuff to try to fine tune that type of thing. But there may be other things that are needed for, that you would want to use the higher frequency biofeedback for.
Being a new kid on the block, a newer kid on the block, not the newest kid. I would probably not do the high frequency one yet that she said. Just go back to the general thing that I'm doing and get the lower frequencies first that probably cause less of a herx, I'm thinking, because the higher frequencies are, well, the lower frequencies don't even show up on my generator sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes it depends on the person too. I mean, I'm trying to think in the tutorial that I was going through, if it was, I can't remember if it was the higher frequencies or the lower frequencies on contact, it could cause some kind of, not zapping per se, but you start feeling a little bit of a tingling in there. But yeah, that I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I know so far.
Okay.
And I would think that another thing that can happen is the higher frequency will probably point out different set of pathogens than the lower frequencies. So you're looking at totally different thing.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So, and you probably want to eliminate higher frequency related pathogens as well as the lower frequency related pathogens. Maybe that's the idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. So if nobody has any other question, I have another question.
Okay.
So I have a relative in India, and for last 2 to 3 months, he has been suffering with, it is sort of depression. He cannot sleep well. Sometimes we look at him, it looks like he's sleeping, but he doesn't really feel that he's sleeping. And his motion elimination is not as smooth. And he feels there's some mucus in it sometimes. Sometimes there's a headache. And generally he doesn't want to, he was a very vibrant person, like to travel and talk, but doesn't want to talk, doesn't want to interact, doesn't feel hungry, doesn't want to eat. So I was trying to figure out what kind of programs I can run on him. So the only thing I don't have is nail clips, and he's so far away. So the only thing I have is Witness. I've created Witness. He sent me his photograph, etc. I've created Witness. And I initially tried to just, one of the programs that I've run on is like called the Omni, OMNI, which is supposed to take care of a lot of pathogens, all frequency. That's what it says. No pathogen can avoid this program. I mean, they cannot escape in this program. And in between also, I run the Alzheimer as well, a little bit. But how do you pinpoint what to run first? And how do you find those programs?
In this case, you ran the Omni on there. I think I still would try running a terrain on him for 11 days and seeing what kind of stuff that might clear out. Mm-hmm. Because it strikes me as similar to some people that had similar symptoms, and it was parasite and nutrition based was the reason why they were having those issues. So by getting rid of the parasites, that would be my first thought on that one. If they were feeling fine and they have a fairly, good diet and that type of stuff before, something like that would be one that I would do. And you can, I know you only have the XM. You could alternate that with some of the frequencies for the mental health frequencies that are in there. You can chain those together after you've done the terrain or whatever, but you can run some mental health ones or frequencies that elevate mood to kind of help along the way.
So they call it the mental health, and I can find in the notes, elevate moods, those kind of things.
Usually they have things, another thing you may want to do too, now that I thought about it, is the chakra programs that are in there. There's chakra balancing.
Mhm.
There's chakra balancing and there's adrenal balancing. That may be really good for, for mental health.
Oh, these two. So I can chain a bunch of these things, right?
Yeah, you can chain things together. Yeah, you can chain them together and then they'll just run one after another. And then it'll just loop back around through those and you can run those 24/7 in a chain.
Okay. And how about, so what is this parasite nutrition? What is the parasite nutrition?
No, not parasite and nutrition. It was usually like the two people that I was dealing with who had issues similar to that. They had poor nutrition. They were not eating a very good diet and they were deficient in certain vitamins that was causing mental health issues. And they also had, they also ended up having a lot of Herx reaction to the parasite, the terrain programs when it came down to the parasites. They had a lot of Herx reactions in there, which made me think that their mental health state was tied to poor nutrient absorption through both what they were eating and the parasites that were in their system obstructing the nutrient absorption in their body.
Right. So this person in India I'm talking about, they're not able to, they don't feel hungry. They don't even want to eat.
Right.
They eat very little rather than. Yeah.
So maybe some supplementary type of stuff that they can take in the meantime until they get their appetite back.
So
they're taking
Louise,
a lot of supplements. Yeah, go ahead, Monique. Sorry.
how did you go around this crisis when you applied the parasite terrain?
For the parasite terrain, I had to run. I made sure that once they told me that they were having a poor reaction, then I started running the Herxheimer and a detox maintenance at the same time that I was running the that part of the terrain program on them at the same time. And it seemed to have a help. I also had them start taking binders, which we've talked with one of our members in our other group. They were taking an activated charcoal during that time. So I paused the program and then had them start taking the activated charcoal, and I started running the detox maintenance and the Herx program chained together, and it made it tolerable for them to be able to get through the parasite program.
Okay, have you ever used and I don't know the word in English, I don't remember, it's diatomée, terre de diatomée?
Diatomaceous earth is diatomaceous. I haven't. You know what, quite honestly, I've only ever used that for gardening. I've never used that internally. Yes, Caitlin, I'm sorry, I saw your hand.
So I have some experience with the diatomaceous earth.
Okay.
I've been taking a product by a guy named Jeb Bush, and it's basically diatomaceous earth. And I've been taking it probably for a year, and it's really done some remarkable things for the gut health. Really remarkable things where I wasn't getting help before. It's really healed a lot of stuff. Oops. Shit. Excuse me. I just accidentally started an update somewhere there.
But we can hear you and we can see you. Gillian, you're okay. We can hear you and we can see you well.
No, it blocked the view from you.
Okay.
The other thing is that the whole mental, I'm a holistic chiropractor. I should say that out loud. And I've done a lot of nutrition and detox work over the last 30 years. So not only the parasites, because the parasites are often the underlying thing for stuff like this, but the candida is also a really big issue as well. So, but the parasites need to be cleared out before you start working with candida, which will really cause a lot of all those symptoms as well. So parasites first, then metals, and then check for the candida. That's really
Okay.
diet related as well.
So how do you use the earth? Like personally, how did you start?
Well, it's a liquid. The stuff that that I get from him, it's a liquid, and you just put it in water and drink it before a meal. So that's an easy way of doing it, and it doesn't have any taste. And I just know it's been working
Can
because.
you put the link up for us as a?
Sorry.
Link.
Put the link of your.
I no, but if you Google Jeb, Jeb, Bus, Bush, Bush, you'll find his product.
Okay.
Thanks.
So Abby, you have your hand up?
Sadly, I'm not sure if I can do this on my phone.
Okay, well, I can hear you. Is that what you're
You can
wondering?
hear me? I was just trying to, I was doing this quickly as my first meeting with you all. But I did have, I've been taking diatomaceous earth for years, so I just wanted to, if someone was really interested, I take it for menopause symptoms. It makes it so I don't have the hot flashes, but it also clears you out completely. Folks who take it, I take the powder portion, and of course now, I apologize, the computer has just picked up both of these, so I have now an echo. Sorry, closing the computer. A lot of folks do it for a lot of different things, but it does clear out metals from the body. I was clearing out metals from chemotherapy as well, and found that it helped for the hot flashes.
Wow.
I have only one kidney, so I can't take a lot of things for medications, those kind of things. So I have to find natural ways, which is why I found Rife to begin with. But I highly recommend the diatomaceous earth. Just be careful if you're taking liquid or powder form. Start with a little and work your way up, because it's powerful quickly.
There is, I'm trying to, I think it's called Cell Essentials Biotoxin Binder is another one that you can get as well. That is a little gentler. It sounds like it might be more gentle on the system. And I think I can go run and grab the bottle real quick and make sure that I have the right one, and then I can type it in the chat for you guys as an option too, for another thing as a binder to pull those things out of your body while you're treating that. So if you guys want to continue, I'll just go run and grab that and make sure that I have the correct information, and then I'll be right back.
Okay. So anybody else has any questions, comments, anything to add, anything to ask? One thing I was curious, how many people in this audience do have a Spooky2? I know Monique has one, Galen has one, Lani has one, right? Abby, you have one, right?
Yes.
Okay. How about Judy Lee? Do you have a Spooky system or not yet? Judy Lee?
Okay, I'm having trouble. I'm on my phone. I do have a Spooky, and I'm really slow on learning how to do it. So I'm just listening and learning today.
So have you been able to install it yet or not installed
I
it yet?
did, and I'm running it all the time. But I'm still having issues being comfortable running biofeedback. I can run it, the initial, but then I'm not, it's really stupid, but I'm not sure how to hook it up to actually run the results, if you know
So-
what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, I know, I understand. Yeah. So how long have you had it? I mean, a year, 6
Oh.
months, 3 months?
Longer than that. It's embarrassing.
No, it doesn't have to be embarrassing. I mean, you've run many programs on it. I tell the truth, I've owned it for 3 to 4 months and I've never run a biofeedback yet, but I have been running presets and other programs, and I've been able to change some programs. And I've been
Right.
running
I've been
on
doing some of that. I'm running something all the time, and I think it's helping.
Yeah. Have you seen anything that really helped anybody or yourself in any condition?
I had just one thing that happened to me. I have a bone marrow cancer, so that affects the blood.
Right.
And I went to one doctor appointment, and they said I have anemia. So I thought, well, I don't want to take iron pills. So what I did is I ran a low anemia program, and then I went back 4 months later and I didn't have it anymore. So I'm thinking that was the only thing I did different.
Wow, that's a good story.
Yeah, I was happy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You solved your anemia problem using this.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, I mean, you've done quite well. You've
Well,
done
I
quite-
keep working at it. How often are you going to have these meetings? Because they're wonderful.
Well, once a week, that's what we said. The same time with the same link. If you already have the Zoom link, you can always use the same, put in your calendar, the same Zoom link every week at the same time,
Okay.
and we will be there.
Okay, then I will brush up on some of my skills so I have intelligent questions.
Yeah, absolutely. We always have questions, right? Like, I mean, I have questions. Everybody has questions, right? It's such a complex piece of equipment. It can do so many things, and I just started learning. It's just the tip of the iceberg that I know right now. So there's so many things to learn, and that is what we want to do. We want to learn from each other and speed up this process of learning. I think that's the main purpose here in these meetings.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. How about
I think-
Waki? Sorry, Liz, go ahead.
It looks like Abby had another question. She had her hand up, so.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Abby.
It wasn't necessarily a question. You had asked for any positive reviews, and I
Sure.
don't know how. I've literally only had it about a month, long enough to do the first terrain, and then I did the first general bioscan, and then kind of learned from, I think, Jeff on the Facebook how to do a more specific bioscan, and did that. It was very. I have a sciatic nerve issue coming from scoliosis that is curving beneath some rods. So basically the sciatic nerve is being cut off. So that I sort of figured there was not much I could do about that. And I ran the bioscan just on the sciatic nerve area. And within minutes, I felt a change on that, a less painful, less excruciating pain, and ran the hour and a half on the TENS unit, and then ran 3 days. I'm on the 4th or 5th day of just running it on the remote. And for the last 3 days, I've been standing upright, not in excruciating pain. So it's not that I don't feel the sciatic nerve, but that I'm not hunched over because of sciatic pain. So that's the only thing I've changed. So it has to be this, but I don't have a whole lot of feedback yet because I'm just starting it. But I'd say that's pretty amazing.
It is.
Yeah, that is. The one of the, they just came out, I think it was last month, Spooky did, they did a study on basically pathogens in a petri dish. And they put them on to test contact versus versus remote, and whether or not they worked and how well they worked. And it's somewhere it's somewhere on their website as well. They put it in there, but it showed before and after. With the contact is a lot faster than the remote, but the remote is just as beneficial. So what would take probably 2 to 3 days on, contact, doing those just, a couple hours a day will probably take you a week or 2 in remote to get the same results. So it does take a little bit longer with the remote, but with both of them, it just wiped out the vast majority of the pathogens that were being experimented on. So it was kind of a neat example of how it actually works, where you could actually see it doing what it's supposed to be doing. So sometimes we would wonder if is it really doing anything? And yeah, it does.
So this is contact with the remote. So how about I have a DNA sample or I have a witness, does that make a difference on how long it takes for the healing to take place?
In the remote?
Yes.
I haven't noticed a difference, quite honestly, between the DNA or using a witness. And I know Siren he's another person in our group who has used Spooky2 extensively. He's used witnesses a lot more than I have, and he hasn't noticed a difference between using a witness and using DNA either. So I believe you would have a similar reaction to that. Yes, Galen.
So I thought the DNA would actually be considered to be a witness. So what's your definition of witness?
We use the word witness if you don't have a DNA and somebody wants to be treated, but they're clear across country or in another country, and you don't have their DNA sample, and then what we've done is create a witness. What we do is we just take a little piece of paper, that will fit inside the remote, and it has their picture on the outside. It's just folded in half like a little book, and it has their picture on the outside, and on the inside has as much personal information as you could put in, their birth date, their address, that type of stuff, country, all of those type of things as a witness.
When I do radionics, that's how I do it.
Yeah, exactly. Radionics uses that all the time. Yeah.
Oh, so the radionics, you do not use DNA, right, Galen? I mean, it's only...
You can use anything. You can use a picture. You can just use their name written down. You can use DNA. My dad used to, on his really old machine, he used to use a sputum sample. Somebody would spit in a Kleenex, and then they'd stick it in the well, and that's what they would use. And that's all. That's what I prefer to use when I'm doing radionics. And the witness that way with radionics, it lasts forever. It doesn't seem to lose its power over a period of time. It seems to be good forever. So anyway, that's up until now. We've been doing radionics for 30 years or more, and I grew up with it. So.
Oh, okay. And which one is better, the Rife machine or the radionics, or they're equally effective, or what do you prefer?
I've only had the Spooky for a month.
Okay.
I really can't say yet.
Yeah. So I have a friend who is another master of radionics that I am in constant in touch with. So I would like to talk to you sometime offline, Galen. Can I sometime?
Sure.
Can you put your email or something, contact? Maybe
Sure.
I have it. I'm not sure
Sure.
I have it.
Let's see, in chat, I guess, huh?
Yeah, chat would be easier thing. Yeah, so I can. Okay. So I was going around and asking everybody who has a Spooky2 machine, who doesn't. So let me ask Vati Stanto. Vati Stanto, do you have a Spooky machine?
Hi, can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Oh, hello. I've actually just started, so I'm very, very new, so I'm just listening in at the moment. But I've just done the terrain, the 11-day terrain, and then some of the biofeedback. So that's all that I'm up to at the moment.
Oh, okay. So you just got the machine and then you're trying to get used to it and run the terrain on it, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of just listening in to see what everyone's experiences are for me to try and do the same. So I
Okay.
can just play
Is there
around with it.
is there anything that you're confused about, or anything that you know that you don't know where to find something, or how to look something up, or any of that type of stuff? Because I know there's a lot of those questions all the time on the Facebook pages and that type of stuff. So if there's any of that that we can show you, we're more than happy to show you that as well.
Oh, there was one where I was trying to put a list of different treatments all into and save it, but and then it gives me a running time of say 4 hours. But I think I'm mixing healing and killing, and so I'm not sure whether that's effective at all. And then I just run the program, but I don't know how long I should be running it for.
Programs can be run. I know of some people who run programs like there is a program that is a daily wellness program, and it starts out and it starts running. I think it's like 6 a.m. or something, like 7 a.m. or whatever, and it has things specific for all day long, and it goes with your circadian rhythms, and it helps you to wake up in the morning, and then it helps you with digestion and stuff in the middle of the day, and then it helps you wind down towards the evening, and then it helps you sleep as you're sleeping. And I know people who have run that program 24/7 for a couple of years. They just keep it running all the time as that one particular program that they just keep, they had it set up and got it set up with this thing. So I'm particularly susceptible to frequency fatigue. Frequencies, I can tell. I'll start getting headaches or this buzzy feeling in my head or whatever if the frequency is getting too much or I've had it on for too long. So it's really dependent on the person. When how long you want to run programs, especially in remote. Now in contact mode, obviously you're not going to be hooked up to this thing 24/7 for 2 years. So, contact is not going to be that long, but there are people who will hook themselves up to contacts and they will go to sleep, and they will sleep there 7-8 hours or whatever with the contacts on. There's people who run those when they are doing cancer protocols, and they will run when they're in the throes of, really trying to get at cancer, they will run certain programs for 10 hours. So on contact. I typically don't recommend that for other things, but usually you just want to run a contact program for, anywhere from a half an hour to a few hours, and then move to the remote to do the rest of the treatment for, the same, it could be the same program only in a remote shell, and run that. So you kind of have to pay attention to how the frequencies make you feel, and that will determine how long you want to run those programs. There's general guidelines, but that's what I recommend most of the time.
Oh, okay. So when I set the program up, and because it's both killing or healing, and it's just in the one remote, and then when I set it as both for kill and heal, is that correct how I'm doing it?
Yes, in that there's that one program in there that is the remote program that is for kill or heal. It is set up with the right harmonics to be able to do both. So whatever is needed with the frequencies that you have in there, it will it's set up in such a way that it won't be harmful one way, you know, it won't be harmful. And it will do what is needed to kill or heal, depending on what you need.
Oh, great. And then in another remote, I'm also doing the maintenance detox.
Yeah.
At
So,
the same time.
And the detox maintenance is a great one to run when you're not sure if you're killing anything, and it's like, or if you're having a reaction. That's a good one to run alongside any program.
Okay. I also bought the Plasma Central, but I haven't actually. It looks a bit complicated for me to try and connect it and all. So I don't know whether I can speak that another time or.
I don't know a lot about the plasma. I do not have one. I'm learning about the plasma. The one thing that I have learned is that you do not want to put your plasma near your other generators. And so just because of the high output, you could potentially, you know, especially if you're running your other generators, it could potentially interfere with the frequencies that you have there. So you want to keep them. I can't remember what the distance is that they recommend that you keep those apart, just because the plasma is very powerful.
Mm.
I don't know if you saw that that video that someone put on there. They were running their plasma generator, and they had a touch lamp that you touch, that it turns it, you know, to, you know, a three-way lamp, and they were running their plasma and it was setting off their lamp.
Wow,
So their lamp
remotely.
was it was cycling through. It was low light, mid light, high light, and then back down again. And so it looked like a disco. It was just bam, 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 and then bam, bam, bam. And so she had to move her light because it was too close to her plasma. So it does have an effect on other things. That's the only thing that I know so far about the plasma that you may want to be cautious about.
Okay. I haven't used it yet. I was a bit worried. Because I've got a lot of generators and I've also got the scaler, so I'm not sure if it's going to interact with one another.
Oh,
There's also a Spooky2 Academy that we've talked about before that does training on all of these things. So it does a little video, and then it goes through a unit and then asks you questions, quiz. But you do need to have some working knowledge of Spooky2 and have read through the guidebook, the PDF guidebook that comes with the software, to be able to really get the most out of that academy. But there's also things in there about plasma, and there's videos on plasma as well that you can find.
Yeah. Oh, great. Thank you. Yeah, I have watched a few.
So good. Once you get some experience, you can share it with us.
Yeah, none of us has a plasma yet.
Yeah, because I haven't used it either. All right, so let me ask somebody else as well. Renan Tolan, do you have a spooky? I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Hi. Hello?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes, I have a Spooky2 for about 3 years.
Okay.
And didn't use it really. I mean, I use it, yes, but a little bit. And it's not, I don't really understand much really. And it's just sitting on the shelf. That's all it does, really.
Wow, such a valuable tool.
I know.
Sitting on the shelf.
I know. Well, I have polio. And well, only one arm works much better than the others, the other
Right.
legs and torso, whatever. And I try to use it for sciatica. I think it's called sciatica. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Something. And also my balance. I try to use, but
Right.
that's about it. Yeah.
So, Renan, do you know how to run the basics on your Spooky2, or are you struggling with that?
Well, yeah, I am struggling with that one too.
Okay.
Yeah, in the beginning, I did all these things and I just lost it. I I got tired and then I left it. Well, it's still, I use it once in a while, a little bit, as much as I can understand. I look at the programs and I choose which one, and then I put it on.
Okay.
That's all. And I don't touch it. You know, it's just like a remote. Yeah, remote.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What you might want to try is the trying to run the detox maintenance. I don't know if you've run
I
the
did,
the
yes.
terrain program that is in and that's in the program or not. Are you familiar with that or not?
I did actually in the very beginning. I tried.
Mm-hmm.
Then this funny things happened. Is like maybe 11 days later, my foot. When I walk, but when I walk, my foot, the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like there was some kind of another skin. I don't know how to call this. Another skin.
Oh, okay.
Something, it's like a bubbly, or maybe it was like starting to be watery inside between. Oh, and then after that, woo, I stop everything. I freaked out.
that could potentially be a detox symptom that is in there. What you could do is you could run the detox maintenance, which is much more mild, and run that one. It's in the same area that you would find the terrain program. And you can run that one 24/7 for 4 days to a week and see if, you know, and to help clear out some things. That's a milder form of a detox. And you can potentially do that to assist you to just get started again.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And I have the thing that you were talking about, you know, the lamp things.
Oh.
Yeah. I have that. I'm not using it at all. It just stays there. And with the generator, the big thing, you know, the very heavy one. Also, I don't even know the names, but I just bought the whole thing. And it's just waiting, just staying there in the corner. Wow. Oh, I'm always thinking, oh, hopefully one day I will start. I keep on saying that. Okay, I will do it. It's just waiting.
Just because now you have joined the group, you should have enough motivation to start it.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like all these things. This is really great. And
yeah. And we'll help you. So are you in France? Are you in France?
No, I'm in Los Angeles.
Oh, you're in LA. Okay. All right. So you're domestic. You're
I live. Yeah. Oh, so you are here too? I mean, you're in Los Angeles too?
No, I'm in Florida and Louise is in Colorado.
Colorado.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. Well, we are not that far. I mean, if you were in Europe, it'll be far away, but.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yes.
Yes.
True. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Did we catch everyone? Did we catch Janet? I don't know if she had any questions or.
Yeah, Janet, we haven't. Yeah, Janet, do you have anything? Do you have a Spooky2 yourself?
No.
You're on mute, Janet, if you want to unmute yourself.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, Janet.
Yes. I have a Spooky2. I have the Central and Gen X. I also have the Plasma, but I am also new and I'm just, I'm still going through the.
Oops, you muted herself again. There you go. Okay.
And familiarize myself more so to get it up and going well, so.
Probably all of those are very, very powerful tools. I don't know if have you started with any of them yet?
No.
Okay.
I'm just getting set up. Yeah.
My initial thought would be to hook up the Gen X first.
Mm-hmm.
And run the terrain program. And
right.
during that 11-day period, while you're running the terrain program, that's a great time to learn how to hook up all the rest and
That's a good
deal with
idea.
all the rest of it. So you're getting some kind of benefit from the get-go. And then you can learn how to use all the, hook up all the rest of the stuff and learn how to get those going.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that. That's a good idea. I think I will get that going.
So Janet, have you installed the system yet or not installed yet?
No, I haven't downloaded. No, I just actually, I had to get the right computer,
Mhm.
a laptop, and I now have everything I need. I just need to download everything and.
Okay, and if you need help, Louise did a video and it's called the Spooky 101 or something like that, right, Louise?
Yeah, on the,
It's in our YouTube channel.
for some reason, it doesn't show up in the full list of videos, but it shows up in the Spooky2 playlist. It's in there, along with another one that we did with Sister Hansa in our group, and she got the Gen X, and we got her plugged in and set up and downloaded the software and all of that on that video from start to finish, her unboxing, her Gen X and getting it all set up. So there's 2 of those in there that might be very helpful.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
I watched that and it is very good.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that.
I did watch that video, the one where you helped a woman literally unboxing step by step. And it was really great to listen to it. I think I watched it before I even got the boxes delivered. So it was very easy step by step. And then when you take them out of the box, you can literally play the video, pause, play the video, pause, and she walks you through step by step.
Well, I'm glad it was beneficial. That's great.
Well, I mean, there's very few videos like that in YouTube. If you Google through it, but you won't find that kind of video. It's a very, very.
It's a very good video.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, great. That's a good conversation. I think we have exceeded our 1 hour now. And unless anybody has any comments, any questions, I think we will meet next week.
All right. Well, it was great meeting all of you. Got some new faces today. It was great seeing you.
And
Thank you.
and
Thank
Galen,
you,
For
guys.
your time.
Yes, thank you so much.
everybody. Thank you for joining.
All right. See you
Bye-bye.
later. Bye.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. It's been
Thank
great.
you.
Bye.
Bye.